Welcome to Investors Insights. Our topic today is Grinch Market, big question mark. That's on everybody's mind as we've seen all this volatility in the market as we approach year end. It's been a rough fourth quarter. At the same time, the news continues to be very positive. So how do you line up the numbers with the market and the emotion that's out there? Bobby, talk about some of the data you brought to the table today.
Yes, the volatility continued last week, especially on Friday. On Friday, China was the culprit. So China reported surprisingly weak industrial production and retail sales. Retail sales were worse in 15 years. And so you're starting to see the trade war have an impact, a negative impact on the Chinese consumer. This week, our attention is to the U.S. And so a lot of economic reports coming out. We have 10 days left in the market, trading days for 2018.
Instead of the 12 days of Christmas, we got the 10 days of market.
10 days left. And so this week is going to be very important. Monday, today, we've got manufacturing numbers. Tuesday, housing starts. So housing has been weak because of higher interest rates. So we'll see what happens there. Wednesday is the day. The Fed makes their decision. Not necessarily what the Fed does. We expect them to raise. Right. It's the verbiage. What are they going to do going forward? The market's going to be looking at that very carefully. We need a little help from the Fed there.
Oh, very much so.
Thursday, consumer sentiment and business outlook. And then Friday, durable good orders, personal income, and the revised look at third quarter GDP. So a lot to look at this week. We need them to be positive. Right. Like I said, with 10 days left in the trading year for 2018. Sure. So big week.
Right. And everybody's, they're looking at U.S. numbers, but looking at the global picture. And that brings up the statement that we talked about earlier, history repeats itself. You brought up about China versus, or just looking back under the Reagan administration in Japan.
Absolutely.
And this whole trade war. Talk about that.
Bottom line of it is, everything that's going on with China, we've seen this before, almost the identical playbook. I mean, see if this sounds familiar. Republican president, Far East Asia nation that basically is trying to dominate in the world economically. Right. We're pushing back on that. There's a lot of allegations that they're stealing technology at the same time. It's the identical story. Well, 30 years ago, we were there. Japan sort of capitulated in that trade war. True. They lowered their interest rates, which caused an import boom. To get it more fair, they thought. They had some bubbles in their economy. Their economy did not do very well. Ours did. So a lot of what you're seeing in the Chinese situation, as Greg and I were talking about this morning, the Chinese are watching that, are very aware of the history Japan had. But it's not like we hadn't been here before. But what's making this a little bit more difficult right now is the Chinese know the Japanese history. That's why it's been a little bit more difficult to get this done currently.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. And so you've got this emotion, you've got open negotiations taking place that has an impact on the market. From a technical analysis standpoint, the February lows of 2018 were around 2580 on the S&P 500. Everybody needs to write that number down. If we go below that, there's a good chance we could see an S&P 500 around 2100 to 2300. There's no guarantee, but it raises the question, is it a bear market or is it just a correction as we experience the emotions out there based on the economic numbers that we're seeing? We're going to continue to stay focused on that. We know the year's coming to an end, but the markets will continue on. As everyone looks for returns in the market, we're looking for those spots, those sectors that our clients can benefit from. And we're going to keep you updated throughout the holiday season. We hope you have a great week. Thanks for forwarding this to others. The response has been outstanding. And always know we're here to talk about portfolios and markets whenever you need us to have that discussion. Have a great week. Talk to you soon.